Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Today's story isn't just about a coin. It's about time. It's about history. And for some of you watching, it's about a memory. Let's step back to 1965, a year that carries more weight than most people realize. Now, think about what life looked like back then. Radios still crackled with the golden voices of the past. Cars were made of steel and muscle. Men went to work in wool suits. The world felt slower. And in your pocket, you might have carried something that looked ordinary. A coin, silver-toned, heavy in the palm. But some coins carry more than change. Some carry value, rarity, and the silent fingerprint of history itself. We're talking about the 1965 South African 50-cent coin. A piece of metal, yes, but also a story sealed in silver. Produced during a time when South Africa stood at a crossroads, politically, socially, and economically. This coin is not just currency. It's a witness to a turbulent time, now elevated into an object of deep historical fascination and high collector demand. Let's begin with its appearance. Hold one in your hand, and the first thing you'll notice is the sharp, bold engraving. On one side, the coat of arms, a powerful emblem of national pride, finely etched with precision and strength. Look closer, and you'll see a lion, an ox, a wagon, and a human figure. Each symbol carries meaning, rooted in centuries of tradition, reflecting the complexity of South Africa's past. Flip it over, and there it is, the profile of Jan van Riebeeck, a name some of you might recall from history class. He wasn't just a figure. He was one of the founders of the Cape Colony, a man whose legacy shaped the country's early development. His image on the coin wasn't just decoration. It was a statement, a reminder of a nation carving its identity in the face of global pressure and internal unrest. Now, some of you watching might actually remember using these coins. You might have handed one to a shopkeeper for a bag of groceries or slipped one into a slot machine, hoping for your luck to turn. Back then, no one thought much about these coins. They were everywhere. They jingled in your pockets, rolled under car seats, got lost in couch cushions. But time changes everything. As the years rolled on, these coins quietly disappeared from circulation. Some were melted down. Others were misplaced, forgotten, or simply worn away by time. And here's where things get interesting. Not all 1965 South African 50-cent coins are worth thousands. But a select few, those that survived in pristine condition, with no marks, no scratches, no signs of age, have become highly desirable among collectors. What makes one coin worth a few bucks and another nearly $10,000? It comes down to rarity, condition, and something that no mint can manufacture: historical significance. You see, 1965 marked a period right after South Africa became a republic. The British monarch's face was no longer on the currency. That switch meant older designs were replaced, and newer coins carried a different meaning, a different national identity. This 50-cent coin stands right on that line between the old and the new. But here's a little-known fact that will surprise you. The 1965 50-cent coin was still struck in 50% silver. Yes, real silver. That's more than just face value. That's intrinsic value. And that weight in your hand isn't just sentimental. It's literal. Precious metal, locked into a coin that's no longer made, no longer spent, and no longer found in the everyday. For collectors, especially those who understand the era, who lived through it, who remember what South Africa looked and felt like back then, this coin is more than a collectible. It's a connection, a link to the past, something to hold on to while the world continues to change around us at breakneck speed. Now imagine coming across one of these coins in a drawer, inside an old jacket pocket, or tucked into a wooden box at the back of your garage. You pick it up, look at the date, 1965, and you feel that sudden rush of recognition. It's not just nostalgia, it's potential. Because depending on its condition, you may be holding something that could change your day or even your month. Collectors today are paying top dollar for rare, uncirculated, and mint condition examples of this coin. Not because they need it, but because they value it. Because they know how hard it is to find. Because they understand what it represents. And because they want to own a piece of history that can't be duplicated, can't be reproduced, and will only grow rarer with time. This is why the 1965 South African 50-cent coin has taken on legendary status in collector circles. It's no longer just a coin. It's a statement, a preserved artifact from a time when the world was very different. And for those of you watching, for men who lived those years, who remember the smell of petrol from a 1960s Ford, the sound of records spinning, the feel of real craftsmanship, this coin speaks your language. If you're lucky enough to still have one of these coins in your collection, or you know someone who might, it's time to take a closer look. Because the market has spoken and the demand is real. And here it is, the moment you've been waiting for. The top auction value recorded for a pristine, mint condition 1965 South African 50-cent coin? $9,500 US. That's right, $9,500. For one coin, one moment in history, one small piece of metal that once cost half a rand, now worth more than most people's monthly salary. So before you toss aside that old coin jar or dismiss the value of what's hiding in a family collection, think again. Some of the most valuable things are not the newest, they're the oldest, the forgotten, the overlooked. And maybe, just maybe, you've had something extraordinary sitting right under your nose. Thanks for watching. If you found this story interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. There's more history, more mystery, and more hidden treasures just waiting to be discovered.